I got you. I know why you clicked this video. Why? Because you probably hate your job. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with you hating your job. How many of you, yes, you do love your job in a way because it's paying your bills. I mean, after all, you can be able to pay your rent, you can pay your school fees, you can be able to settle your debt. But honestly speaking, you feel like, if there's something better that I can do that can snatch me out of this quote unquote rat race, or if you'd like it, it's called sort of an enslavement, if I'm so to speak. So this is the video for you. On this video, I'm going to share with you on how exactly do you escape the 9 to 5 job. For those who do not know what the 9 to 5 job, what does this mean? Simply means you being employed somewhere, you have to show up each and every day. Actually, it's not even 9. I think it should be 8 to 5 job, okay? How exactly do you escape that? And if you'd like to know that, for the next 15 minutes, and I dare promise you I'm gonna share value for this video. Go ahead, smash that like button, make sure that you as well subscribe. If you're watching me for the first time, make sure that you leave a comment on the comment section. Let's get to the business. Okay, here we are. There's something called the 9 to 5 job. Okay, 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 job is simply where you employed and show up each and every day to make sure that you get that salary, that income. By the way, the best term to use is called wages. But if you say wages, most of the people, it doesn't sound well. But it is what it is. And I told you one thing. Slavery is there, or what changed is that back then when slaves used to work, do you know what happened? They used to be given 3 things: the food, the shelter, and the clothing. And then people argued, hey, you know what? Slaves, or a free person can work better than a slave, blah, 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 blah. So slavery was abolished, and I totally support it. And then what happened? They'll be like, okay, fine. Those things that we used to pay you or give you for free, that's the food, the shirt, and the clothing. Now we'll be giving you wages or salary or income. You go cater them for yourself. And guess what happens now? Whatever they pay you on that particular job that you do, it is equivalent to cater for those 3 things: the food, the shelter, and the clothing. Now you're taking that money to throw parties, my friend. That money was never meant to do that. Even if they pay you 100,000 a month, even if they pay you 1 million shilling, they know you have a high appetite of spending. Anyway, it is what it is. Now, how do you escape this 9 to 5 kind of a thing? This is how you do it. How much do you earn right now? I mean, take a pen and paper. How much do you earn? Thank you. You earn 70,000 a month. Thank you. You earn 70,000 a month. That is your salary. Okay. Because what happens, you cannot just escape something without a plan. So first of all, what you need is a plan. Okay, you need a plan because you need to escape. Even if you're doing the prison break, I mean, after all, you just need a plan. By the way, how many of you have ever watched that prison break? You need a plan. So for you to escape this, you need a plan. Okay, now the plan is you have to start with how much do you earn? You earn 70,000. Okay. So if I escape this job, if today, tomorrow I just write that resignation letter and tell my boss, I don't want that job. You know what? Already where I live or what I do, I survive on 50, 70,000. Why? I pay my rent, I pay my school fees, I pay my utilities, I pay my transport and all those kind of things. So if I quit today without any plan, just because I hate the job, then I'm going to suffer. So what is the plan I'm going to have? So I earn 70,000. Okay. So if you earn 70,000, then you have to buy yourself, create something extra that is bringing you the cash that is either more than 70,000 or equivalent to 70,000. That is what you need to do. And what most of the people tend to do, those who are not smart, you quit the job that you hate to go explore the things that you don't understand. And then you get yourself into wildness, and then you find yourself going back to the same job. Well, even if not exact place, but a similar job in a different place. So you're gonna get yourself a similar challenges that you were getting. Now, what you do? So if you're earning 70,000, you start asking yourself, I have an escape plan, and my escape plan from today to a certain particular time, I'm going to do that. Now, the question is this. So the plan is how or what do you do to create a system or a thing that will bring you an equivalent of 70,000 or more? You start today. There are 2 vehicles that you can use to take you to the destination to realize this. The first vehicle can either be a business, or the second vehicle can actually be a what? An investment, okay? Those are the two only vehicle that applies that route to your destination. So the question is this: if you go the vehicle of investment, you need a huge chunk of cash for you to realize this 70,000. For instance, in Kenya, if you invest ₦1 million should give you a return of 10,000. So for you to get 7, you simply multiply that $1 million by 7. So you need 7 million in an investment for you to get 70,000. It's not that quite it's not huge anyway, but it's quite of a money, okay? Say you don't have the capacity to raise that amount of money as of now, because investments, they have low risk, low return. So if you use the business vehicle to take you to the destination of the 70,000, then you ask yourself, what business can I start? And the question is, shouldn't be just any business, what can I start? You ask yourself, how much can I surrender each and every month? So out of the 70,000 you earn, your fixed cost, that's the water, the utilities, the whatever, all those kind of things that sustains you, consumes a whopping, let's say 50K, okay? You're left with 20K. Now, out of this 20K is the only money that you can surrender each and every month, that you can say this money can be invested, this money can start a business and what have you. So the question is, where you are right now as you watch this video, do you have the 20K saved somewhere, or do you have more than that saved somewhere? Yes or no? If it's no, then starting next month you set aside 20,000. Then you ask yourself, what business am I aiming to start? And that business, how much will it require for me to start so that I can get an X amount of money? And you'll be like, since I'm employed, I may not have an extra time or excess of the time in terms of me starting a business. Therefore, I need to start a venture or a business that is actually has less of moving parts, that I can be able to monitor it. You don't start a business that you need to be there, business that really requires your human presence and all those kind of things, okay? But at least it requires, yes, but at a reduced rate. Then you ask yourself, can I get into the transport business? Can I get myself into the production business? Can I buy this and test it and do? You get what I'm saying? And sometimes I always tell people, actually most of the time, try to start a business that you have an expert on. Try to start a thing. For example, let's say you are a teacher, you are an ECD teacher. You can actually start a daycare business. ECD in Kenya, it means you're dealing with small kids, the play group. I don't know, they call PP1, whatever they think they call them. So you are actually in that particular place. So you can start a venture related to that field because you understand it better. If you are maybe, let's say, a surveyor, you can start a consultancy. Let's say if you are employed somewhere in a hotel, you can start a restaurant because you know some nitty-gritties. Do not just pick two vast worlds. You are in hospitality, then you're choosing the fashion. Those are two not related business because you require a lot of time to learn this, okay? But this one you understand. For example, say you're employed somewhere in a supermarket, in the bakery session, you can actually think about acquisition of a machine that can help you start the bakery sessions where you're making cakes, you're making breads and all those kind of things, you're preparing parties and what have you. You are actually employed in an event planning session. Try to think within that area because it's a thing that you can even run it from wherever you are seated because you know some nitty-gritties about that specific thing. You're employed somewhere in a clothing industry. Think on how you can start that venture. If you're employed somewhere as a doctor, think on how you can get into the pharmacy business. If you're employed somewhere as you get what I'm saying? Try to think within the area that you are in because you have an expertise on that particular thing. If you're a HR somewhere, ask yourself, what consultancy can I start? Or those kind of things. You stay within that particular thing. Now, when you pick that what can work for you and you know you understand it better because you want to reduce the learning time or the learning curve, then you ask yourself, how much will it require me to realize that venture? Okay, now let's say I've picked, I'm going to start a business, let's say a clothing business and maybe a boutique because I understand it. Let's say you're employed somewhere as a barber, I'm going to start my own barber shop. Okay, that would require me to have 200,000 Kenyan shilling for me to realize that specific business because I'm looking forward into escaping this employment journey. Okay, I need 200,000 and I'm able to save 20,000 a month. I'm using 20,000 as an example. Use the money that you get or use the money that you can manage to save each and a particular month. Now, what do? You say, I need 200. If you need 200, then you ask yourself, how long will I need to accumulate that amount of money? Obviously, you need 10 months to do that, but there is always some mishap and shortcomings. Give yourself an excess of 3 months on top of that. So let's talk of at least 1 year, okay, for you to realize that amount of money. And the mistake that people do is to assume, just concentrate on savings, you accumulate the money, and then when you get the money, it's time now you're thinking about the business. No, what you do, the moment you commit towards acquisition of that money to start the business, which is the escape plan from the 9 to 5, you start now thinking about, where will I set that business? Where it's the best location for this business? So that by the time the money is enough, the 200K that you're aiming, you not only have the money, but you've gathered substantive information. You've actually considered your competitors who are found in that particular area. You've actually consulted the distributors and the suppliers. You've actually found some research about the pricing, the discounting, and all those kind of things, the possible challenges and what have you, so that by the time the money is coming in, you have the idea, you've consolidated all the requirements, and then you go ahead and actualize the business. And once you actualize the business, then again, don't forget, your aim is to get 70,000 as a payment from that. On a very serious note, when you start a business, cannot be able to just fulfill everything that you need within the first month. There is always what we call the learning curve, the waiting period, the breathability allowance for the business, probably 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Depends on how accurate you got it in terms of the location, the pricing, the product, and the target customers. That is exactly how it goes by. Why? Because if you in your life you're just operating, you hate the job, true, yeah, but you do nothing about it. You just hate the job. Once you get paid, there is that happy feelings that usually have it. You forgot about you were hating the job. You go back to the next month, and by the time you realize 30 years are gone, 40 years are gone, you've never done anything. So what you're supposed to do, just be uncomfortable from where you are. And listen, let me tell you one secret. It is possible you can actually escape this. Maybe, let's say you don't like the job or don't like the business, just like I've said. You can also pick the vehicle of investment. The vehicle of investment, you leverage on two things. You leverage either on the amount, or you leverage on the time. If you do not have the amount, the 6 million, or rather 6 or 7 million that you required to have for you to earn a cash flow of 70 million, or rather 70,000, then you leverage on what? On time. You may not have the 70 million, but you can constantly and continuously throw in some few coins here and there, remain focused, sacrifice and discipline, then ultimately you will realize that particular amount of money to get that cash flow. If then that requires you to engage continuously in a period of 10 years, then you ask yourself, where you are right now, and in 10 years time, where will you be, assuming God will keep you alive, okay? So you ask yourself, will I manage to actually realize that particular thing? And by the way, let me tell you one secret. A time will come when you'll be fired. Oh, by the way, let's not use the term fired. Time will come when you will be told that you're going to go for retirement. We no longer need your services. You are old now. We consider your productivity a bit low. We can get a new vibe, new blood. We can permit fresh legs and what have you. So before that time comes in, that will be like forced retirement. You can retire yourself before you do that. And this is what we do in a nutshell. This is the active income, the money that you get after trading your time, your energy, and skills. So that is an active income. On the other side is called the passive income, where you don't need to do a lot of things, but the money is working for you. So what you do, the moment you start or you get employed, there is a very vast difference between the active income and the passive income. Why? You just got started. You don't have money. You've never invested before. What you're supposed to do immediately after getting started or after getting employment, you're supposed to elevate. Of course, you're getting elevation in terms of the, appreciations, the job ladder and what have you. You're supposed to elevate the passive income. Try as much as you can to catch up. Try as much as you can to do what? To catch up. So that the moment that you'll catch up, your passive income catches up with your active income. Even if you were to drop the job or the employment that you have, the passive income can sustain you. Reason why people get confused after getting fired or something happens, you don't have anything that is bringing you some cash. But when you bring it to the same level, that is the very first target to do. But if you can manage to bring it way further above the active income, the contemplation of actually resigning kicks in. Why? Even if you resign, you can sustain your life and you still have an excess on that. Did you get that? So that is exactly what we do, especially when we are getting inspired as far as the investments are concerned. And when I check my clock, I just said exactly, oh my goodness, my watch. It is 15 minutes, just like I promised. I'm gonna share this video. Hope you got the information on this. What did I say in a nutshell? Or if you can just recap. First of all, the very first thing that you do is identify where you are. How much do you earn? I earn 70, and I used 70 as an example. Two, you need a plan. Anything that is a term escape, you must have a plan. And for you to have that plan, you can actually use different vehicle. Can be business, can be investment. But the question is this: for you to escape this, then it means you have to raise something that is earning you a similar amount of money or more than that. Then you ask yourself, how much do I sustain to save per month, and what vehicle can it reach me there, and what is the duration or the period that I'm giving myself to plan to escape out of the thing that I'm having right now. Please don't be otherwise. You're supposed to be wise, not otherwise, because if you just wake up and quit, then that will get yourself into more problems than the good thing, because you just quitted just because you hate the job, but indeed you do not understand how that particular thing works. And you might actually go stray in the field of the investments or the business. It doesn't work, you go back to the employment, and that is be the worst thing that can ever happen to you. But anyway, it is what it is. This is Giri Joseph speaking. If you'd like to get a hold of my services, go ahead and grab that number of mine from the description of this specific video, and you can shoot me a call. We can talk business, or you can grab my booklets about investments. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.